listen, we need to talk. Because manifestation is incredibly simple. And I want to talk about that today because us as humans overcomplicate this. Overcomplicate. You can have anything that you want, but the world has told you, you know what, you can't. You have to work 1 trillion hours to get anything that you want. And that is the biggest lie on planet Earth. So I want to make this video to wake some people up if they haven't already been woken up. And I want to let you know that you're limitless. And I want to tell you how you can get anything that you want. Manifestation is simple. Let's stop overcomplicating it. That is the theme of this video. Okay, manifestation boils down to whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're ruminating on, whatever your mind is thinking about a lot starts to show up in your reality. So what we do with conscious manifestation is we start thinking about our stuff consciously. We start taking control of our thoughts so that we can have a specific thing or a specific outcome show up, rather than letting our minds run rampant, which is what humans do a lot, right? We let our mind think about whatever our mind wants to think about throughout the day instead of saying, hey, no mind, you're not going to do that. This is what we're going to think about because this is the reality that I want. So it's kind of like you're taking control of the narrative of your life. And from that, it starts to materialize. Just like this pen. Do you see how this pen's real? Yeah. That's as real as the stuff that will show up in your life happens, okay? Was that the right word to use? What I'm trying to say is that stuff will literally materialize like this pen. Another big lie that society has told everybody is that you have to work to get everything that you want. You have to work to get anything. Work is a choice, okay? You don't have to work if you don't want to. If you're like, I'm somebody who wants to work to get my stuff, that's okay. But I don't want you to think that you have to work 1,000,000 trillion hours to get everything that you want. Again, manifestation is incredibly simple. Now, I'm going to tell you how to get what you want, okay? It boils down to visualizations, affirmations, and some other stuff I'll talk to you about after I'm done describing these two things, because that's a little bit too much at once, right? Right. So, you will choose an affirmation that implies that you have the thing that you want. If you want a new car, I have a new car. If you want it to be more specific, like let's say you're like, well, I want a Tesla. I have a new Tesla. I have a Tesla. I have a Tesla. Now, let's say you want $10,000. I have $10,000 in my bank account. I have $10,000 in my bank account. I have $10,000 in my bank account. Yeah, it can be that simple. You describe whatever affirmation you want. You decide on that. The important thing is that the affirmation feels really natural for you. It doesn't have to be what your friend likes. It doesn't have to be what your favorite manifestation YouTuber likes. It's about what works for you, okay? Whatever works for you and feels most natural for you is what's going to work best. And then you're going to want to repeat this affirmation as much as you can throughout the day. And you're going to want to have a session in the morning, the afternoon, and at night where you're thinking about these affirmations. 10 minutes at a time, you're focusing on it. You're focusing on these affirmations. You're feeling the feeling, if you can, of this affirmation. So if I'm thinking I have $10,000, I will have a feeling come up my chest of having $10,000. And then it comes down to visualization. So let's say $10,000, right? Or your Tesla. You're going to want to visualize yourself driving your Tesla in your head. Maybe when you're driving your car, you're imagining, like the car that you have now, you're like, yeah, this is a Tesla, baby. This is a Tesla. I'm driving my Tesla. You're kind of like living that. You know what I mean? You're acting as if you have that Tesla right now because you do the second that you say that you do. But yeah, you're imagining the scene in your head of you driving the Tesla, of you having that $10,000. You think about that while you're affirming too, best that you can. So let's say you're doing your 10-minute sessions 3 times a day. You're imagining driving the Tesla where you're saying, I have my Tesla, I have my Tesla, I have my Tesla. It's that simple. Your Tesla will appear. Maybe you even have a scene where you're looking at the Tesla because maybe you want like a specific way, a specific color of Tesla, right? Visualize whenever you want it so you don't have to affirm while you're visualizing, but it definitely helps. Feel the feeling of what you'd feel like if you had a Tesla. As you fall asleep, make sure you're imagining yourself in that Tesla, right? And another good tip, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but act as if, you know? Kind of what I said earlier about imagining while you're driving your car that you're driving your Tesla. Maybe when you're in the store, you're like, ooh, I'm gonna get that for my Tesla. Like maybe you get like one of those fluffy steering wheel things. Or maybe you're looking at some car wipes and you're like, oh, I should get these car wipes for my Tesla. I love the acting as if method. In my opinion, it works so good. I've gotten stuff from it. Trust me, it works. It really works. But yeah, it boils down to belief. Belief, your assumptions, your thoughts, your feelings. All of this stuff creates your reality. It materializes your reality. And it's simple. Don't think against any of the methods we just talked about. Don't think that you don't have a Tesla. Don't think that you don't have $10,000. Because the reason people's manifestations don't show up is because they waver. They're literally taking their manifestation and throwing it in the trash when they start saying that they don't have it. So don't think against it. Manifestation's simple. You can have anything that you have. I hope this video really helped you out, or like helped you kind of awake to the fact that you're a powerful being that can have anything and everything that you want. Because I don't like how the world lies to everybody. This is how it works, baby. Subscribe. It's Izzy Mage. I love you guys. Bye.